Building immense strength can take a lot of time and dedication, especially in the field of calisthenics, where we don't have the advantage of simply loading a barbell with more weight. We have to find creative ways to improve our strength. For example, going from a handstand to acquiring your first handstand push-up. It's such a large gap to bridge when wanting to acquire that new skill. That's the main reason why it's a bit harder to progress in calisthenics as opposed to weightlifting. But by the end of this video, you will have the information on what I recommend you should do to bridge those gaps safer and more effectively. We are gonna go over 5 calisthenic exercises you should do to build insane strength. And that first exercise is grip strength. Grip strength is truly underrated and directly undertrained in my opinion. Anytime we work out to do anything with the upper body, it requires the usage of our grip strength muscles. That being your forearms, wrists, and fingers. It's essential to train your grip strength. Exercises like the handstand push-up will be a bit easier to unlock because of the balancing aspect as you grip the ground. The muscle up will also be a bit easier since it takes a good amount of grip strength when making that transition over the bar. There are different ways to train your grip strength too. Simply hanging from the bar is the most effective way in my humble opinion. And when you do hang, make sure you do a passive hang as opposed to an active one. The passive hang will place a bigger load on your forearms opposed to the active hang. The active hang is easier because of the elevation of your scapulas, which helps take some of the load off of your forearms. Now, a good training program for developing your grip strength is the EMOM method, or every minute on the minute. So hang from the bar as long as you can. Simply rest 1 minute, then repeat 6 to 10 sets. You can also do EMOM like this. Let's say you're hanging from the bar for 30 seconds or so. Now your rest time is 30 seconds of the rest of that minute. Repeat, and so if you get 15 seconds next round, then you know you got 45 seconds left to rest. That's a good way to drastically improve your grip strength. You can also buy a hand gripper to improve your grip strength while on the go. I usually do 4 sets of 25 reps, holding the squeeze for 2 seconds. Use the wrist roller as well. Bruce Lee incorporated this exercise to improve his punching power. I recommend to do all of these exercises throughout the week to improve your grip strength. Just make sure you don't overdo it. The next exercise is great for improving what's lacking in a lot of fitness enthusiasts, and that's shoulder in-range strength and stability. This is something we don't train as often and directly. It permits the ability to maintain proper joint position and control during movement. See, when we train our upper bodies in calisthenics, we don't put a lot of time and effort into building up our shoulder in-range strength and stability. And not having this will not permit full maximum strength output for our shoulders. Sure, we're gonna have those incremental improvements in our shoulders when working out, but we also wanna make sure that our smaller muscles get attention as well to build up that strength and stability. We have several different exercises to choose from, but one of my favorite is prone shoulder liftoffs. This particular exercise is great for building that shoulder in-range strength and stability. Many of us don't really train the upper back muscles as much as we should. The traps, rear delts, rhomboids, teres minor, major, and more don't get enough attention when it comes to training. So the prone shoulder liftoffs help to resolve by strengthening those upper back muscles that we often neglect. And this doesn't require any type of weights. Start off with a pole or a broomstick. Simply lie in that prone position and lift the staff up as high as you can and pause for 2 to 3 seconds. Imagine pulling the bar apart and pushing through your shoulders. The wider your hands are apart, the easier it is. So start off wide first, then slowly make your hands closer to each other. As you get stronger, feel free to attach an ankle weight to increase the difficulty. Do this for 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps, a couple of times throughout the week. Moving on to the next exercise we're gonna talk about, and that's ring face pulls. Now, ring face pulls is a great exercise to not only hit those traps directly, but also rear delts and external rotators. And the 2 primary muscles that help facilitate external rotation are gonna be your infraspinatus and your teres minor. These small muscles play a crucial part in your rotator cuff. External rotation strength is something that many of us don't pay attention to. See, these muscles, including the entire rotator cuff, act as the battery for your body. At least that's the example that I always provide. If you don't ensure that battery is fully optimized through your training, then your alternator, which is your body, will possibly incur an injury. So you incorporating ring face pulls will help to optimize your battery. This exercise is done by pulling the rings towards your face. But as you do that, you want to externally rotate your shoulders right from the get-go. Don't roll and externally rotate, as this will shift a good portion of the load from your rotator cuff muscles and onto some of the bigger muscles of your back, in which we are trying to strengthen those smaller muscles. So make sure you externally rotate right from the get-go. Once you do that, it's extremely beneficial for you to squeeze and hold for approximately 1 to 3 seconds. This brief hold will help to strengthen those upper back muscles, primarily being your traps, rear delts, rhomboids, and of course your teres major and minor. You'll also improve scapular stability and bulletproof those shoulders. I also want to add this little nugget when doing ring face pulls. You can scale it to make it harder or make it easier. Make it harder by changing your feet position. So simply move your feet closer towards the object your rings are hanging on. Be careful not to move your feet too close and make it extremely difficult. This will encourage you to sway the body aggressively and break form. Because the lever positioning has changed, you'll find yourself getting bad reps instead of quality ones. So don't go making it crazy difficult. We want quality reps. And be sure to keep that form tight and squeeze at the top. Do ring face pulls for 3 sets, 15 reps. Be sure to pause again, 1 and 3 seconds. My next recommended exercise is the Y raise. Y raises are similar to face pulls as you have a similar pulling motion, but now you're pulling with your arms being straight. And this subtle change helps to isolate those upper traps just a bit more. You're also going to be hitting other accessory muscles like your rhomboids and your shoulders. The Y raise is performed by keeping those arms straight and again squeezing at the end position for 1 and 3 seconds. Do keep this in mind. The Y raise is a bit more challenging as opposed to the face pulls. So don't jump the gun, making it more challenging. Keep your form tight and make sure to avoid arching. Isolate those working muscles and do the Y raise exercise. 3 sets, 10 to 15 quality reps. The last exercise on the list is gonna be the T raise. This is personally the most challenging exercise out of every single one I just listed, but the most effective in my opinion. What I love mostly about this exercise is the moment you start pulling, you feel it immediately in your upper back and your shoulders. Keep those arms nice and straight, no bending them, and simply pull. The rear delts and traps will be on fire after just a few reps if you do them effectively. Again, you wanna make sure you keep those arms nice and straight as soon as you start pulling and pause at the end position for 1 and 3 seconds. Also keep them straight as you work the negative as well. Do T raises, 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps. Keep in mind for all of these ring exercises, you wanna depress your shoulders to really isolate the traps and other accessory muscles. Don't elevate them at all. Also be sure to protract those shoulders before you perform any of these ring exercises. But all of these exercises we talked about in today's video are good for strengthening up those weak areas of your body. Oftentimes we neglect training those smaller muscles with the same vigor as the larger muscles. And if we continue to train this way, we're gonna be laying the groundwork for possible injury. So incorporating all of these exercises into your weekly training program will build immense strength. So you can do more complex moves in calisthenics or lift heavier weights. And most importantly, reduce your chances of getting injured. Believe me when I say this, I've been training like this for a while, incorporating all of these exercises, and I have seen wonderful benefits. So let me know in the comments which exercise you're gonna be incorporating into your weekly training program, or maybe all of them. If you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Most importantly, make sure you are properly subscribed. I'll see you guys next video. Peace and love as always, and I say, boom, we out, baby.